It brings a tear to my eyes.
Okay, welcome back to South by Southwest. Our next film that we're setting up for review, it's actually a really funny movie. It's The Long Shot, starring Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen.
So this movie, it has kind of a basic premise. Charlize Theron is a promising young presidential candidate, and she chooses Seth Rogen, an acquaintance from middle school, to be her speechwriter. And of course, he's a very bold, inflammatory, but humorous journalist. So yes, a little bit of chaos ensues.
Well, one thing I like about this film, it does take elements of other romantic comedies that you may have seen in the past, but they take them in a different characteristic. You know, this time it's more political, but then you add Seth Rogen to the mix, and of course you get the raunchiness. You get a little bit of, I don't know, nostalgia humor. From
Sure,
the
there's a lot of good 80s and 90s references when these characters would have been in middle school. They're both big Boys to Men fans. The people that made it to the premiere got a surprise. So Boys to Men appears performing Motown Philly in the film, just as kind of a little cameo, and they decided to join the cast for the premiere.
That was a big surprise. Seth Rogen was out talking to everyone about the film, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, we have a surprise for you." And I admit, the whole time I was like, he's not going to bring out Boyz II Men. There's no way. There's no way. And then, of course, here they come, and they sang 2 songs, and they gave roses to all the ladies, and it was very nice. It was very cute.
So they did Motown Philly, and I will tell you, Charlize Theron is a massive Boyz II Men fan. She was on stage busting a move.
Right. If you didn't know that about Charlize Theron, she does play a badass blonde in Atomic Blonde, but she's a huge Boyz II Men nerd. I love this film for so many reasons. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be as funny as it was. I knew it would be funny. I actually wanted to see it more than she did.
Yeah, I didn't really expect it to be my brand of humor, because Seth Rogen is not my brand of humor. If you feel the same way, this movie was not over-the-top raunchy. That's what I guess I was expecting, an extremely raunchy comedy. There were moments of that, but it didn't just permeate.
Right. It's not classic, typical Seth Rogen, but it is. It's like
more mature.
Like a more mature version of Seth Rogen, and his character is extremely smart, but he also has the typical like, oh, you know, I'm falling over myself, and you know, kind of you feel bad for him at some time. But I think it's great. If you're a romantic comedy fan, or you're just a comedy fan, you're going to love this film in every regard. I think it's very sharp, and it's very smart as well.
Yeah, very clever, and it's got a hilarious supporting cast that includes O'Shea Jackson Jr. and Diane, Raphael, and they're amazing. This film should be hitting theaters early May, so if you like some political comedy, this one should be right up your alley, though I don't think Boyz II Men is probably going to travel to your theater.
I'm sure they won't appear at every theater. I don't think they have the time for that. But hey, just enjoy it on screen and jamming it in the car on your way from the theater.
Absolutely.
So we'll be back with more from South by Southwest. Make sure you stay tuned for more of our red carpet premieres as well as our reviews, because we have a lot more coming at you. So stay tuned.
Not too hard, not too soft. It's long overdue, but now thoroughly slamming. We got Boyz II Men, ABC, BD, the East Coast family, never skip the beat.